Hello peeps, just want to check in and go over some usage of the BigTreeTech PANDA Touch. This is my P1S, it is currently turned on, and if you touch the screen, the PANDA Touch will wake up. Let's get a closer look. Here is the PANDA Touch. I have 3 machines connected. You can see them by touching the network icon here in the bottom. When the icon is red, that is the tab you're in. You will see my P1S, my P1P, and my other P1P. Do note, if you have an AMS unit, it does in fact show you a graphical representation of an AMS unit on top of the printer. I currently have my P1S set as master, my P1P as sync, and my other P1P as sync. If I wanted to switch one of these to master, I'd simply touch sync and choose master and touch off the screen. It will then offer me to change that machine to my new master. And there you go, you'll see this P1 series printer is now my new master. To demonstrate control of that printer, I am going to touch the light button a few times, and you can see the light turning on and off in response to me touching the buttons. Now I have one other P1P, that is the one to my left with an AMS. Again, I could touch sync, touch master, touch off the screen, touch confirm, touch home, and now watch as I touch the light, and my other P1P is now in control of the PANDA Touch. Watch the tool head. And watch the bed. Now, returning back to my P1S, I will touch the network symbol, sync, master, off the screen. You will see they are named Angel, Penny, and some jargon. If you want to go ahead and rename this printer to match what you have on Bambu Studio, simply touch the screen, touch name, and rename this printer. This printer's name is Zoe. And there you have it. The printer's name now displays as Zoe. Let's go back to the main screen. Simply touch the hamburger, and here you can see the readouts for this printer. Let's go ahead and take the cover off. You'll notice the light is not on this main setting screen. You do have to go home to turn the light on. It's an odd quirk, but not a big deal. Back to the hamburger. Here on the right is the extruder. We won't be extruding because our nozzle temperature is cold. Next to that is our Z. Raise the bed 10, lower the bed 10, raise the bed 1, lower the bed 1. Here on the left is this wheel. You will see the wheel allows you to move the X, +1, -1, +10, -10, forward, back, forward 1, back 1, or home. You can see the bed is now homing. Of course, while we are here, we can also set the temperature of our hotbed and nozzle by simply touching on the nozzle, typing in the temperature, and pressing OK. You can do the same by touching on the bed, typing in the temperature, and pressing OK. You will hear the glorious sound of our cooling fan indicating the printer has responded. We can now configure the AMS by touching filament. On this screen, you will see your external spool holder and your 4 slots of the AMS. To configure these slots, simply touch the pen and configure the filament in each slot. I am going to choose generic, PLA, and in my first slot, the color is red. Press confirm, and I will repeat this for each slot. With all the filaments configured, you can now test the interaction with your AMS by simply touching a slot. You will see that by touching each slot will activate and you will earn a response from that slot. For example, I will touch bank number 3 and bank number 4. Let's say we want to load red. I will tap red, and red will now be highlighted with a border. To load that filament, go ahead and press load. the P1S has started heating the nozzle to 250. It will then actually walk you through the process of cutting off the original filament and reloading it with the red filament. In my case, I had black loaded. The P1S will push that filament into the hot end, cut it, retract it, and then load the red, which will be purged and ready for printing. Here on the screen, you can see the 250. Here on the Panda Touch, you can see the 250. Now, if you'd like to use that extrude button, you can go ahead, press temperature. If you look way in the back and press the extrude button, you will see it is in fact extruding the red filament. As you know, your Bambu printer does retain a history of recent prints in its cache. However, the Panda Touch doesn't have access to that library. File browsing allows you to read files from the micro SD card. Currently, it only supports .3mf files in the root directory of the card. You also have access to USB flash drives. I currently do not have one installed. Expanded file browsing is said to be coming in a future update. Let's go ahead and have a look at the Panda Touch during a print. I will be sending this print from Bambu Studio. I have sent a print to the P1S known as FlexiDog. The screen below shows that it's still downloading. And now it is about to complete downloading. You will notice we don't have a thumbnail of the current model. That feature is said to be coming in a future update. And the print process has begun. You can see the bed is at 53 and the hot end has begun heating. You may notice that it shows heat bed preheating even though your heat bed is already heated and it's actually the nozzle that's heating. You will also notice auto bed leveling is in the steps even though you've turned auto bed leveling off. It does appear this list is generic regardless of whether you have bed leveling on or off. Regardless if it's heating the heat bed or the nozzle, it simply says heat bed preheating. At this time, you do have the option to turn your light on or off. And once the print begins, you'll notice the percentage and estimated time remaining appears on the screen, as well as a pause and stop button. It has in fact accurately switched to cleaning nozzle tip. And with the nozzle clean done, you will see the printer is beginning the print, not auto bed leveling. File browsing allows you to read files from the micro SD card. Currently, it only supports .3mf files in the root directory of the card. You also have access to USB flash drives. I currently do not have one installed. Expanded file browsing is said to be coming in a future update. Of course, there is still one more cool trick hiding up the sleeve of the BigTreeTech Panda Touch. With the screen off, simply turn it around, switch the power source to battery, and the BigTreeTech will turn back on, and your Panda Touch will reconnect to your printers using battery power. When you're done, just turn it around, switch it back to DC, and snap it back to your printer. You will see it automatically turns back on, boots up, and reconnects to the printer. You are on the 3D Rundown YouTube channel. I'm Greg Adventure, your instructor on 3drundown.com, and going over the awesome BigTreeTech Panda Touch was today's adventure.
Hey,